Should the NBA resume play, whenever that might be, with the 2020 NBA playoffs as standings currently are, then we will see a Lakers vs. Nets finals. You heard it here first. I am not crazy. This quarantine has not made me lose my mind quite yet. Nets vs. Lakers finals, ladies and gentlemen. I said it, the Brooklyn Nets in the 2020 NBA Finals, and you guys think I've gone absolutely AWOL, and I have not. Folks, these playoffs will not happen prior to July 1st, meaning Kevin, Easy Money, Sniper, Durant, and Kyrie, Uncle Drew Irvin are going to have ample time to come back from injury. 100%. They're going to be on the Brooklyn Nets together for the playoffs this season. The whole world did not think that's going to happen, but it is happening, meaning they are going to blow right through the Eastern Conference. I said it, the Bucks, great season. So what? We're talking about Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, two of the best bucket getters in the world, on the same team, at the same time, healthy. What can the Eastern Conference do? Nothing. Nets in the finals versus the Lakers. And then we also got the Lakers. I mean, do I even have to say anything about this organization, this team, on why they're coming out of the Western Conference? I think I'm going to have to, because I hear the rumors. I hear the chatters. They're saying the Clippers got Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers got Paul George. The Clippers signed this. The Clippers signed that. So what about the Clippers? As long as the Clippers and the Lakers are in Los Angeles, the Lakers will be LA's team. And two, because they got LeBron James, who in his 17th season is playing the best he's ever played in his career thus far, and Anthony Davis. This is why he came to LA. He came to go to the finals. He came to get buckets. He came to prove something of himself. And also, this team has been just on a crusade this entire season. The Lakers are going to beat the Brooklyn Nets in 7 games in the NBA Finals. And quite frankly, I can't wait for that showdown. Let's just call it what it is. There's not a single weakness on this Lakers ball club, offensively or defensively. That's why they're top 10 in the NBA in literally everything this season. They've got scorers, they've got shot makers, they've got playmakers, they've got rebounders, they've got screeners. You name it, this ball club has it. They're so fun to watch every single night because they enjoy playing basketball with each other. That's why they're 9th in the NBA in assists per game and 7th in the NBA in points per game. Defensively, they're 3rd in the NBA in opponents' points per game, 1st in the NBA in blocks per game, and 4th in the NBA in steals per game. And that's because they are long. They protect the rim. They pressure the ball and create turnovers night in and night out. Outside of LeBron James and Anthony Davis, this ball club is still elite. Kyle Kuzma is this team's 3rd leading scorer. Avery Bradley is a defensive dog and has proven to hit big shots this season. KCP, another guy who's hit big shots this season. Quinn Cook has already won an NBA championship with the Golden State Warriors in big rotation minutes. Alec Caruso gets better night in and night out. Danny Green was a focal point for the San Antonio Spurs and the Toronto Raptors in their championship runs. Rajon Rondo made the Boston Celtics a big 4 instead of a big 3. Dwight Howard most famously denied the world a LeBron James and Kobe Bryant finals as the Magic beat the Cavs in the late 2000s. JaVale McGee, another guy who's won with the Warriors, playing key rotation minutes. And how about the toughness that this team has added in Markieff Morris and Dion Waiters? On the flip side, we have an extremely scrappy Brooklyn Nets team who will be returning a 100% healthy Uncle Drew and KD due to the postponement in NBA play. But before Kyrie and KD return, this team is already very good. They're 18th in the NBA in points per game, but that number is absolutely irrelevant because it does not include what Kyrie Irving and KD will add to that number. What this team does very well is rebound the basketball. They're 2nd in the NBA in rebounds per game. They will be able to match the Lakers' size at the glass. That's going to be a fun show to watch in itself. Other than that, they are loaded with guys who can keep this ball club in the game until Kyrie Irving and KD have to take over during crunch time. Spencer Dinwiddie can drop 40 points on any given night. Karis LeVert has already dropped 50 in a game this season, beating the Boston Celtics in overtime. DeAndre Jordan, we know what he does, making a name for himself in Lob City with the Los Angeles Clippers. Joe Harris has won an NBA three-point championship. He is a sniper ready to knock in big shots at big times. Jared Allen's on the team. Taurean Prince gets better each year. Garrett Temple is a seasoned vet in this league. And Wilson Chandler has been a 6th Man of the Year candidate multiple years with the Denver Nuggets. What it's going to come down to is that these role players are able to keep the Brooklyn Nets within the ball game until Kyrie Irving and KD have to do what they do best, and that's get buckets. And luckily for the Nets, those guys are more than capable at doing so. When it comes to having key rotational players, these teams are dead even. That's why this year's championship formula is going to come down to which superstar duo can perform when it matters most. Kyrie Irving, hands down, has the best handle in NBA history, and he's the best under the rim finisher in the league's history as well. In the words of Uncle Drew, this game has always been about buckets. Kyrie Irving's been averaging about 27 points per game this season, and he's one of 4 players to score 50 or more points twice or more this season. The only difference between him and those other 3 players is that Kyrie has only played in 20 games this season. There's not a dude in this league who can stay in front of this man in one-on-one situations, and that's because he's a lethal three-point shooter. If you leave him out there, he will make it rain. If you come out there and check him, he's making you dance. He's making you skate. He's going right past you to the rim, finishing offhand, off balance. He's stepping back. He's got everything in his bag. He's a big-time clutch player in clutch moments. We know what he did to Steph Curry and the Warriors, helping the Cavaliers seal that 3-1 comeback in the 2016 NBA Finals. This dude is a nightmare. His only weakness is that he is at best an average defender. The Lakers are going to be able to take advantage of that. Kevin Durant is a matchup nightmare. He is as tall as their starting center in the NBA. He handles the rock better than the majority of the guards in the NBA. He will pull up from long range. He'll pull up from mid-range. He can play with his back to the basket. He'll face you up. He'll jab step you to death. There's nothing he cannot do offensively. For his career, he's averaging 27 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, and 4 assists per game. That's an area of his game that I think is outstandingly underrated, is his ability to play make for teammates. Also, he's a scoring champ, the youngest scoring champion of all time. He's a regular season MVP. He's also a 2-time finals MVP. The man is a top 5 shooter of all time. I don't think many people are going to go in and debate that. Since 2010, he's been the best scorer in the world. And as far as versatility goes in the scoring aspect, he's the best scorer of all time, and he's solidified that since 2016. This series, quite frankly, is going to come down to what Kevin Durant can do to match LeBron James and what LeBron James can do at this point in his career to match Kevin Durant and his scoring ability. Anthony Davis is straight up an NBA cheat code. The man has essentially developed to be Kevin Durant with slightly less perimeter capabilities, all while still having a much greater inside presence than Kevin Durant. He's easily this year's Defensive Player of the Year, blocking 2.5 shots per game, which is good for second best in the NBA, tied with Brook Lopez of the Milwaukee Bucks. And this guy can switch out and guard positions 1 through 5 at a high level while still, again, protecting that rim, starting many of the Lakers' fast break opportunities. The Brooklyn Nets are going to have to decide if they put Kevin Durant on Anthony Davis, which is going to free up LeBron James, or if Kevin Durant is going to guard LeBron James, which is going to free up Anthony Davis. At the end of the day, he becomes the difference maker for this NBA Finals. The Lakers also have the GOAT, LeBron Ramon James. It will be a crime if he isn't this year's regular season MVP, putting up averages of almost 26 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, 11 assists per game. He's also a much improved three-point shooter, shooting just over 35% from long range this season. In his 17th year in the NBA, he's transitioned to play point guard for the Lakers, and he has led the NBA in assists. I am 23 years old, and prior to last season when he had that hamstring injury, I haven't seen an NBA Finals without LeBron James since I was in 8th grade. He's heavily criticized for not taking the final shot in the NBA playoffs, for not being a clutch player, especially in the playoffs. But he has 5 career buzzer beaters in the NBA playoffs, which is most all time. And in the final 5 seconds of the NBA playoffs in go-ahead shots, he's 7 for 15 from the field, which is best all-time percentage-wise. This guy is not playing for anything less than an NBA championship, and the extra rest he's going to get from the postponement of the NBA season is only going to play to his benefit. LeBron James will carry the Lakers to a Game 7 win for the NBA Finals, earning himself a Finals MVP. So why do the Lakers win in 7 games? Because this comes down to Kevin Durant and LeBron James, as I alluded to previously. Unfortunately for Kevin Durant, as long as LeBron James is in the NBA, Kevin Durant will always be number 2. LeBron James is 20-15 all-time in head-to-head matchups against Kevin Durant, including being 17-4 prior to KD joining forces with the 73-9 Warriors. We always allude to KD being a great scorer, and rightfully so. He's averaging 30 points per game in those head-to-head matchups, but that is exactly the same as LeBron James, who is criticized for being a pass-first player. The difference comes down to who's going to be the better playmaker, and we all know that's LeBron James. He is averaging 7.5 assists per game in those head-to-head matchups, while KD is averaging 4 assists per game in those head-to-head matchups. That's the difference. That's why the Lakers win in 7 games. Nets versus Lakers, Lakers in 7.